Welcome back to Legend of the Driftwood Crown, Episode 5, Attack on the Hollow. To catch you up on the story, we have to go back to Episode 3, where Axel, Nictor, and Demeclees spent the afternoon learning of the plan of the attack and then getting outfitted with new weapons and armor. Demeclees spent a large amount of time on the docks, asking for different arcane items and being rejected by a slithering merchant serpent named Mehmed. Despite not finding what he was looking for, Demeclees did manage to find a small spider box and then proceeded to scour the town, finding spiders of his own. The party then began to march to Verdant Hollow. In Episode 4, we followed the tales of Manx and Sly Grimehook as they proceeded to scout ahead of Verdant Hollow in case there was goblin reinforcements at the express request of the Tamir of Seafall, Cedric Stormrider. As they scouted along the path, they reached a fork in the road, opting to head towards Suncrest rather than Oakreach. Soon after the fork in the road, Manx and Sly discover a camp of soldiers. Upon further investigation, it appears that they are House Ravenshield soldiers, some militia, some professional warriors. Sly gets careless and was captured and immobilized by those soldiers. Manx, forced to flee, has retreated back and is now waiting at the Waystone for the rest of the Tamir of Seafall's soldiers to arrive at midnight as instructed, and that's where this story begins.
The group of you head over through the open fields surrounding Seafall, basically just marching at the head of the column with the Tamir, and right behind you is the Tide Guard as you guide them closer and closer to the Waystone further in the forest. All of the Tide Guard are relatively quiet as they know what comes ahead, and mostly it's a pretty subdued moment. Soon you come across the fork in the road that goes off to Amberstone Abbey. It's probably about a 2 or 3 hour walk, so you guys are more than welcome to chat about anything on the way.
Is there any desire to see your fortunes read, to know what's about to come?
Yeah, I'll bite. Demeclees, go ahead and read me. I'm going to give you my full attention.
Well, I see you're going to need to put your energy into these, and I hand him a deck of cards. Are you adept at shuffling in any capacity?
Oh, yeah, we played cards to pass the time, me and my apprentices, so I'm going to take the deck from you and just do a little basic shuffle to show I'm not a liar.
Mm-hmm. Now cut the deck 3 times and stack them up upon each other in whatever order you personally prefer.
I'm just going to go middle to bottom, top to middle, bottom to top.
Now you must draw a card from the top or the bottom. Which do you choose?
I'm going to choose top. And I'm going to, hesitantly draw the top one while it's like the most half-hearted grimace you've ever seen.
Now, you have drawn the Ace of Swords. Ironic, for I don't believe you use a sword.
I do not. I prefer a blunt weapon, but I like an ace.
Well, as I can see, this card brings great potential, but it also carries with it the reminder that a sword has 2 edges. And, Axel, you should use this newfound clarity that we have gained of our enemies to know that you should proceed with much caution. Do not be reckless with your life or your weapons, for there is much unexpected to be seen.
Well, as Demeclees was reading my fortune, I was giving him my full attention, every moment feeling weighted, and time starting to slow down even. That's how much I was dialed into this fortune. And I'm just going to reply, I think you might be onto something. Though a sword might not be my weapon, it does cut both ways. And I'm just going to kind of drift away in thought.
Along the way, may I roll my portent dice? And just so you know, I have 2 dice that I can swap in at any moment for any reason, just to fuck with you. And this means that I spent the last hour predicting and communing with the stars to see a possible portent in the future.
The rest of the walk passes in eerie silence to the Waystone. Few are in the mood to talk, knowing the hard fight that lies ahead. As the sunlight filtering through the canopy of the forest fades to a white glow of the moon, the column arrives at the Waystone, the marker to enter Verdant Hollow. As they approach, Manx pops up from behind the stone, having been waiting for them.
Oh, yeah. So there was a mounted guy that just took Grimehook, but they're all cloaked in yellow.
Elrick approaches you because he kind of overheard.
What was that?
There's a lot of yellow-cloaked soldiers up ahead. Unfortunately, Grimehook got a little careless and was captured by the enemy, but I was able to sneak out.
Grimehook was captured by the yellow-cloaked soldiers. Did you count how many?
300-400 at least.
That doesn't bode well.
Was there any distinctive markings?
I mean, the yellow cloaks looked like they had the crest of House Ravenshield on them.
Well, maybe they've had the same problem with the goblins as we have, and they are coming to our aid. But we're not going to wait for them now, and the capture of Grimehook doesn't bode well, so we should be fast here tonight.
Cedric simply nods to Elric, gestures to his Tide Guard, and the Tide Guard and militia follow him, trudging past the Waystone in the direction of Verdant Hollow and the Vale that was described. Elric then turns to the group and gathers you all around him in a circle.
Okay, Demeclees, Axel, Nictor, Manx. Let's go over the plan one more time. My brother Cedric will lead the Tide Guard to punch through the gate. The militia will follow in behind, causing a distraction and holding the goblins as long as we can. It is our job to slip into the central keep unnoticed and recapture the crown. We're not sure how long our militia will be able to hold them, so when we have captured the crown, we will blow the horn that Cedric gave you. 2 long, clear blasts. That will signal the retreat as we have secured the crown. Which one of you has the horn my brother gave you?
Demeclees has the horn, actually.
I will reach into my cloak and bring out the horn, raise it above my head, and say, "Behold."
Perfect. Demeclees, keep the horn close. I will go through the breach first and guide us towards the central keep. Each of you will follow in my footsteps. Is that clear?
I'm going with you. Oh, I understand. Will there be goblins when we go in there?
Yes, Demeclees. There will almost certainly be goblins inside, but that is why you have Axel, and Nictor, and me, and whatever Manx is, for protection. It will be okay.
I protect us, as in me.
Yes, Demeclees, as in you.
Aye. As you can see, my cloak is not knife-proof, or goblin-proof, for that matter. So, may I just say, I see great doom falling upon all 3 of you should I receive injury. Do not question the portents.
Don't worry, Demeclees. I'll be a stone wall in between you and the goblins.
Worst case scenario, you just throw all those spiders you're carrying around on anyone that approaches that you don't like.
Aye, I just hope you move faster than a stone wall, for I've seen how agile goblins can be, and how quick they can blast with those of their own level. As the shortest among you. Don't forget.
I certainly move faster than Chef Boyardee, so...
Excellent. I suppose I'll try to keep up and stay between you and the goblins.
I would like to say a few words of blessing upon us, and it might take a little bit, but I think we'll all be happy with the results. So I'd like to take the next 10 minutes to just say some inspiring words on behalf of our deity, Mara. Just give everybody a little bit of extra pep in their step before we head directly into battle. So now everybody get 6 extra hit points.
Thank you.
Woohoo!
So as you take even just 5 steps through the shroud, you can hear immediately the sounds of pandemonium. You guys are, of course, the last ones through the gate. As you can see, the gate has been breached. You're not exactly sure how there was that much force because you didn't see any battering ram or anything, but the gates are wide open and you can hear the sounds of combat raging inside. Elrick turns to all of you.
For the crown.
I guess he didn't want to try the subtle approach. Moonshadow, follow on! And I'll get Moonshadow, my owl, to soar up ahead and sort of scope things out for me as I try to chase after him at a slower pace than everybody as I have short legs.
We'll go in right behind him. I'll be next to Demeclees.
Let's bash some heads. I will take Elrick's left.
I'll take the right.
So the moment that you get through the gate, there are militia and goblins that were supposed to be fighting more or less in units and have largely broken down into a melee. The militia seem to have the upper hand. It's probably 200 yards or so into the center citadel, and all of that is entirely just absolute chaos. Nobody seems to be paying attention to your tight-knit group as you stay close together. You cross your first 100 yards without any actual problems, and the distraction of the militia being this many and everywhere is absolutely keeping the goblins focused.
As the group of you near the fortress gates, they open a crack and 4 relatively large entities run out onto the darkened steps. At first, you think that they might be orcs because they're so large, but as you look closer, their movement is weird. It's jittery. They're hunched over like goblins, but they're way too large to be normal goblins. They've got weird patches of coarse purple fur jutting out from the different discs and scale plates of their armor. Can each of you make 2 perception checks?
I rolled a 5 and a 2.
I nailed it. 24 and 15.
6 and 11.
I just rolled 2 ones. I am clearly not paying attention to anything right now. I'm just trying to stay in between everybody and where the goblins are. Very freaked out.
As the group of you get to the bottom of the stairs leading up to the fortress, Elrick stops. The largest of the 4 goblins in front of you bellows, pounds his chest furiously, and then barrels down the staircase towards Elrick. Before any of you can really react, the goblin covers the distance between you with surprising speed and tackles Elrick, almost hoisting him off of his feet and plowing him back into the melee out of sight. The 3 remaining goblins, seeing this, press their advantage and charge down the steps at the group of you. Can everybody make an initiative check?
So gladly.
Huh, we got some roided out goblins or bald werewolves.
Yeah, they're freaking big. I'm very scared. What's going on here?
Ooh, hot 18.
20.
22.
Not good. 5.
So, Niktor, there are 3 goblins monstrosities in front of you. So how do you want to proceed?
Alright, let's bash some heads. Take them out.
So we've got goblin A, B, and C. So from left to right, A, B, and C. So which one are you engaging?
Actually, I will have my spear at the ready, and, well, I'll just lunge at him. Ha! 8.
The goblin of this size kind of chuffs and bats your spear away. Demeclees, I believe you are next.
I will take the one in the center and ask him, how do goblins stay cool, do you say? Turns out they sip from a goblet. Ha 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 ha! And I'm going to cast hideous laughter upon this goblin.
So they got a 4. So he tips over, cackling with laughter.
Turns out humor is the universal language. Ha! No one touch him. If you do, he will stop finding the joke funny.
Manx is next.
They have to give me a dexterity save as an explosion of dazzling colored light comes out and showers all of them in sparkly fairy dust.
So you've got a 2 and a 13.
Okay, so the 13 makes it. The one that rolled a 2 has sparkly little fairy lights attached to it. For the next 60 seconds, unless my concentration is fucked up, he sheds light, and any attack roll against it has advantage. As a bonus action, cast Bardic Inspiration on Axel. Your time to shine.
Oh, it's time to get real. And I'm just going to do like a little flex as I grab my warhammer.
The goblin in front of Axel is enraged that you would try and blind him with such a fairy-like spell, so swings his makeshift scimitar at Axel.
I'm going to say, you're going to have to try harder! And I'm going to block the hit with my shield, feeling inspired. Well, I am just going to swing at dude in front of me. Does a 19 hit?
It hits.
Okay, so I will deal 8 damage to the guy directly in front of me.
He reels back onto the steps. It doesn't manage to knock him over, but he is reeling from the blow, so he does take a step back from you.
Okay, love that.
And that puts us back to the top of the round. So, Nictor.
Alright, well, I'm already sick of my spear, so I'm going to approach this dazed creature and give him the old 1-2 good night and pop him in the jaw with my unarmored attack.
He's just glowing and like perfectly outlined. It's like he's got a target on his face.
Perfect. That's what I want to hear. I'm going to hit him right in the bullseye then. 1 roll. We're not going to talk about that 4. We're going to re-roll. That's a little nicer. A total of 15.
15 will work.
Damage coming up. 7 total.
So he's staggered by the ferocity of your attacks, but he's not bloodied.
Alright, gotta hit him with the other one then. What a coinky dink, another 15. Damage coming up. 5.
Definitely bloodied. You've knocked out the majority of his teeth and also served to enrage him pretty seriously.
That virtually ends my turn there, I believe.
That moves to Manx.
I am going to cast Vicious Mockery on him. He does get a Wisdom saving throw.
8 on his saving throw.
He fails and takes a single point. The whisper he gets in his ear is,
You look stupid without teeth.
His self-esteem is immeasurably damaged. Your move, Demeclees.
Biddy body, what am I going to do? I know. You, goblin. You're not the sharpest dagger in the adventurer's toolkit, are you? And I'll mind sliver him. It is a intelligence saving throw, actually, which is why I was insulting his intelligence.
He managed to get a nat 20. He is the sharpest knife in the adventurer's toolkit, despite being currently glowing and missing teeth and suffering emotional damage.
I'd like to use one of my luck points. I roll, and I decide if that one goes better, but anything will be better than a 20. Let's see. I rolled an 18. That'll still beat what it is. Damn it. All right, well, I am not that lucky today, it seems. I have clearly angered the fates. Drat. Let me just kill this spider and see if it gets better for next turn.
The goblin still towers like an easy head and a half over Nictor. He kind of growls at you, and it seems like it's words, but you can't actually decipher what it is, and then swings a scimitar at you. Is 12 good enough, Nick?
Nah, he can't beat that.
So you duck as the blade swings over you, safe yet again.
Aha, you weirdo. You patchy Wolverine.
The goblin in front of Axel sees that his comrade is also failing, but really doesn't know what else to do with it, so steps into an attack with all of his strength. Axel, a 20 to hit.
It hits.
Bellowing with the rage for a total of 9 points of damage.
Lucky hit. Let's see what you got now. And I'm just going to roll to attack the one that stabbed me. I think a 12 is too low, so I'm going to roll my inspiration. Oh, God, and it's a 1. So a 13 to hit.
Your hammer glances off the thick hide armor that he's got over with the hair tufting out of it in strange different directions.
As he sliced me, I would have winced, and it just kind of glances him, huh?
Nictor, at the top of the round.
Alright, might as well continue on. Give him an old left hook, and we'll see if we need to throw in a right one after. Well, that's a 10 total. Let's try a little better here. 20 total.
You don't pop his jaw off, but you do give him enough of a shot to the jaw to give him a lights out, and he does tip right over backwards and crumple.
Nice. He's in a crumpled state.
Okay, now, the goblin, overcome with hideous laughter, manages to regain his composure. He's about 10 feet in front of you, Nictor.
I would just shout in the heat of battle, "Don't worry about me, Nictor. I've got this guy covered."
Alright, I'll take that hit, and I'll definitely go over and introduce him to Righty. give him the old right backhand. Oh, yes. We got 20 total again. I hit him so hard, he imagined a sixth finger, and I hit him with 6 points of damage.
He took the hit like a champion. It didn't seem to do anything significant to him. And that moves to Demeclees.
Well, let's see if this works a little stronger. Perhaps his mind needs to be divided like this. Ah! And I will mind sliver him. Roll a intelligence check.
That is a 3.
5 psychic damage, and please describe the level of winds.
He almost drops the scimitar he's holding due to the combined force of prying into his mind and the bone-shattering punches of Nictor.
Now, finish him! And I'll pull another spider leg off as I watch.
Nice job, Demeclees.
Your move, Manx.
Jeez, we are doing pretty good. I'm just gonna hit him with Vicious Mockery.
You look like the stupidest one here.
Despite his stunned condition, he does manage to shrug off yet more psychological pain. All right, combat with Axel scores a 21 again, scimitar flashing probably too fast for you to know what to do with.
Yep, it will hit me. What you got?
11 points of damage.
Oof, that's really, really bad. That just did half my health.
Roll to see if that stuns you.
I save that.
So you do manage to recover. We're going to say he opened up a cut from your knee up to the outside of your hip. And it is your move since you, although it hurts, you are still active.
So, taking such a brutal attack, I will immediately just dig the heels in, put the shield up, and as a bonus action, I will cast Second Wind. So I heal back the 11, actually. Is that all you got?
Your leg kind of eases and you get comfortable with it.
As I regained my momentum and my footing, I'm going to just put all of that into my swing, and I'm going to attack him. Damn it. Well, so much for that cool moment. I'm just going to put all of my might into this attack, and it glances again off the weird chest toupees this guy has. That is my turn.
Nictor, back up to the top of the round. You've got a damaged and stunned Gobbo in front of you on the steps.
Quick question, can you re-describe these characters? Is it the armor that has patches of fur on it, or are these 6-foot-tall goblins with patchy fur on them, with armor?
They have armor, but you can see patchy fur coming out from under the armor.
Yeah, better introduce this guy to my knuckle sandwich. Bing bong, 19. 5 total for damage.
You do manage to finally get up under and give him a strong throat punch, and he drops to the ground.
Alright, well, I better go meet up with this last goblin. Obviously, he's in combat. I'll give him a good old punch to the spleen right from behind. I'm so happy I'm getting advantages because I don't like that roll. Ah, yeah, turn that 4 to a 14, 19 total. And what do you know, another 5 right to his kidneys.
As you turn around, rush back down the stairs and spear punch him right in his kidneys. It makes this goblin tip forward and bang into Axel, and he makes a very poor decision to turn around and face you, Nictor.
It's time to drop the hammer.
I've seen more intelligent gelatinous cubes than you, and I will mind sliver him once more. Please roll a intelligence saving throw.
He rolls a 2 on his intelligence check, and he fails, and he only had 1 hit point left, so that's the end of him. And he goes limp and tips forward onto Axel's shield.
And I'm gonna just fling him off like a gross bug that just got splattered onto your windshield. Ugh.
He won't be in Rush Hour 3.
Let's kick off one of these helmets, identify, find Elrick, get the heck back to the mission.
Do we really need Elrick?
Isn't Elrick the guy that's like gonna have a heart attack soon?
Did I say that last time? I feel like I did.
Yeah, it's the reason you have the horn. Like, this guy is not doing good. You read his future, it was bad. That's why I'm like, hey, you take the horn, because this guy's gonna have a stroke.
Sometimes we try to control the fates, but by controlling them, we change them. The fates will be what they are. If we are meant to find the crown, we will find it. If he is, he will find it. Trust in the process.
I don't trust in his process. He eats too much bacon.
Do we need him to find the crown?
No.
Aha. Well, let's see if we can locate it, shall we?
Just as that point, you see him come out from behind you. He's missing a chunk of his armor. You can see some blood on his helmet, and you're not sure if it's his.
Sorry about that, gentlemen. Had a couple of close scrapes, so to speak, into the keep.
Aye, lead on.
Lead us onward. And I'm going to give both Manx and Demeclees a weird look.
I can hear his arteries pumping from here.
So he opens the citadel doors, and you see him disappear inside.
Aye, I follow. Yeah, I'll let them all go, and then I'll step in front of Axel. No, you take up the rear.
So the hall itself is pretty large, maybe 40 to 45 feet across. It is overgrown inside. You can see moss and ivy growing all the way up to the vaulted ceilings. It's probably 35 to 40 feet at the very top of each of the vaults. Torches are lit, which means you do have good visibility all the way through, and it is cut flagstone, so the ground itself is clear of debris. There is long, rough cut tables that do sit the length of the Great Hall. And you can see as you enter the room, there are 6 large wooden doors, 2 to your right, 2 at the opposite end of the Great Hall, and then 2 to your left. Other than that, the hall itself is entirely empty, and you can hear your footsteps echoing with every step. Elrick turns.
I don't have any more information than you. Where do we proceed? My guess is that whoever has the crown is going to go up. A castle like this will probably have a throne room or some treasury, but your guess is as good as mine. Demeclees, what do you think?
May I roll an insight check of some sort, or an intelligence check, to kind of like look at what kind of building this is, give me some insights into maybe its history?
All of you can actually make this same roll. Nictor and Axel, you guys are going to get advantage, and Manx, you'll actually get disadvantage.
I would say with my history roll, I would just use that to assist Demeclees.
I got a 23. Well, my guess is as good as all of them, but if I were to hazard a guess, the throne room would be this way. Although, does anyone else see this door over here on the left wall? It appears to be less dusty than all the others, and perhaps that means it's been opened recently.
Well, we can always reopen it.
Yes. Can someone open it? It's I just find doors are so heavy.
I would volunteer to open it.
Axel, you're opening the door?
I am, with all of my might.
The door is unlocked, and it swings open. It doesn't even make a sound, so the hinges are well oiled, which is also kind of weird for how old everything else in the castle seems. But there are stairs, but they descend.
Looks like this stairway only goes down.
Should we at least go see what's down there? There's a whole battle going on outside that we can't win.
It's a little time sensitive, yeah.
Yeah, we should probably go up.
But there's no dust, and maybe it's like a bait and switch. Like we're supposed to go down. The throne room's not typical. I don't know.
If I know anything about goblins, and I think I do, they tend to like darkness and living underground versus grand throne rooms high above the castle keep. Of course, these aren't typical goblins, are they?
I will posit that there's only so many flights of stairs we can go up, but there's potentially infinite flights of stairs downward. So maybe we check upstairs and then come back to here if there's time.
I'm kind of like Team Demeclees. We should go down for now, just because this is where it's sending us. Maybe it's worth a look?
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Let's just be quick about it, whatever we decide.
I will also go just check out the other doors myself.
Your passive perception indicates that the 2 doors at the end of the hall are pretty well worn, and there is one other door on the right-hand side of the hall that is not dusty.
I open it.
It swings open easily. Everyone else is still standing in front of the door going down. As Manx explores the rest of the room, it's not well lit. Initially, your eyes have to adjust to the light, and then it looks like it's a stable. You can see there are 2 armored carriages, each drawn by 4 horses. There's no one else in the stables. You just kind of hear the jingle of horses moving in their harness back and forth.
Yo, guys, I got our getaway whips. For sure, we're using these to get out of here.
I like where your head's at, Manx.
I go to one of the other doors and I open it.
So that's at the far end of the hall, and those ones seem to be locked.
Can I strength check the one that he wasn't able to open? Just try to barge it down or break it open?
Wish you would.
So it's a nat 20 on breaking the one open. I would just swing at, like, the hinges.
As you hammer the hinges, it basically does shatter the top hinge. It doesn't break all the way open, but the door does list forward, being held by only the bottom hinge and then what looks like a deadbolt that you can actually see now through the gap that you've created. And your second swing on the bottom hinge has the door crashes to the ground. It does echo through the entire castle. Any element of surprise is lost. The torches are well lit. You can see a set of stairs leading up. And because you guys are closest, you can hear creaking through the other door at the opposite end of the hall. And you can see that the door starts to open quickly.
I was going in loud, boys. I'm sorry.
Yep. Weapons hot.
Weapons hot. Can I rush over to the door that's, like, obviously opening?
Make an initiative check.
9.
If I could, I'd like to take stock of the room and note exact locations of where everyone is at this very moment, in case, for some reason, every part of our vision gets obscured in the next minute.
Can everyone else make initiative checks and Axel make a reflex save?
So it was a 15. If I'm adding my strength, it would be an 18.
Manx,
I got 18.
Demeclees, and Nictor, what are your initiatives?
10 total.
I got a 3 total. That does include my +2.
So, Axel, as you get close to the door, it blasts off its hinges. The door hits you, but you're strong enough that it doesn't do damage, but it does slide with your shield up, with the door pushing you all the way back, easily 10 feet.
So it's full, like, obscurity because of the door?
Yes. Nictor and Demeclees, you see a head duck under this door and then enter the room standing probably 7.5 to 8 feet tall. Is, again, the same weird shambling type of goblin, but now even larger. He draws what looks like a greatsword in each hand, bellows ferociously. He points a sword at Nictor.
You should not be here. This is Bear Clan tribe. Get out of our hall.
And then makes a beeline directly for you as a charge.
Oh my god. Wow. That's intimidating to say the least.
It does have the same patchy hair, but this time he's wearing a full plate suit.
He called himself Bear Clan also, worth noting.
He bull rushes at Nictor. Nictor for a 14 to hit.
Axel said it best. I got 16 armor class.
And his second one is 22. For 5 points of damage.
5 points, that's it.
Make a strength check as well to see if the force of the blow is going to push you backwards away from him.
Ha! Not 20, 22 total.
So you at least remain engaged with the bear gobbo.
Did you ever pick up your spear that you dropped? Or is that gone now?
I was just thinking about that. Nah, I left it. Not necessary.
Manx, that means you can now see that he moves into Nictor. It's like right in the middle of the room, which is about 15 to 20 feet away from you.
I am going to give Axel a pat on the back and say, whatever happens today, we must fell this beast. So I'll give him a pat on the back. Congratulations, you have inspiration again. Use it wisely. And I am going to cast Dissonant Whispers. So nobody hears this except for the purple gobbo, but he's going to hear these creepy kind of whispery thoughts come into his head that says,
Bear Clan ends now. This is the end of your line.
Oh, love that.
go ahead and give me a wisdom save, please.
5.
Okay, so he takes 13 psychic damage, and as his reaction, he has to move as far as his speed allowed away from me.
Okay, so then he's going to disengage and flee from Nick.
Oh, go ahead and use that reaction. Fuck him up, Nick.
I will admit that was a 1.
Because he's not used to the magic that Manx cast, it scares him and he panics to run from Manx. He completely bull rushes Nictor over and moves 10 feet in the wrong direction. Nictor, so you are prone. So you can try and do something from the ground, or you can call out, or you can stand back up.
And am I able to reach this fleeing bear and jump on his back, give him a good old shot to the neck?
So roll for an attack and we'll see how it goes. It means you're re-engaged with the bear.
Ha! Nat 25 total. So I got a total of 8 for damage there. Flurry of blows it is then, let's go. 1 key point to make 2 unarmed strikes again, so here goes 1. Okay, so that was 11. Another one. Okay, I swear to God, I got another 20, 25 total. Another 8 points of damage, sir. Both of his kidneys, gone.
He does still not look bloodied, despite Manx and Nictor's double attack.
That's because it's internal bleeding.
Axel, it is your move. The door is leaned against you. At this point, because of Manx's spell, the bear gobbo is at the opposite corner of the hall to you, so he is probably 55 feet away or so.
Okay, so as a free action, for flavor's sake, I would just shove the door across with my shield. I would use dash as a action to then move 40 to move in front of Demeclees.
Ah, good to see you. Finally.
Sorry, I was having a door thrown at me. I'm back.
Never mind, I'm concentrating. Something tells me you cannot bear your own mind. And I'm gonna mind sliver the bear.
That is a 18.
Then nothing happens. Well, darn. I guess, let me just squash this spider and then we'll see how the next game goes.
The bear, seeing that everyone is not close to him except for Nictor, bellows directly in Nictor's face and swings both swords kind of in a crisscross motion to try and cut you in half.
Jesus, good thing I have a sick dodge action.
He swings the sword both top and bottom, and Nick, seeing that this is happening, jumps and goes horizontal in the air so that the swords go under and over top of him. So they both miss. As he lands, the bear uses his muzzle to bite down directly on Nictor's shoulder, grappling him. So Nick takes 6 points of damage, and you're now grappling the bear. And that moves us to the top of our players, which is Manx.
From way back on the other side of the room, Manx just wants to shout, "Sick plank, bro!" and give inspiration to Nictor. So you have an inspiration die that you can use over the next 10 minutes. And also, I'm going to cast Healing Word on Nictor. He can take 4 hit points back.
Yay.
Cool, that's my turn.
So that's Nictor's turn. So you are currently grappling with said bear who is latched onto your shoulder with his muzzle.
I'm going to keep going strong with the attacks here. So yeah, I'm going to punch him right in the trachea. Oh, that's a 7, not a 1. I'm going to add the d6 to it. Oh, okay, so it was 15 total.
Ooh, your fist glance off his neck plate.
Damn, you were probably 1 away.
Neck plate? Damn, key point. Using a key point. I'm taking this guy down. I don't like him. We're going to do flurry of blows really quickly here.
Blow him. He'll never see it coming.
Nictor, blow this guy.
First hit, 18. Does 4 points of damage. Second punch here. Oops, 17. 22 total. Going for damage here. Only a 5. Entire I just did 9.
The bear seems to be starting to get worn down, but is clearly more than savage enough to be enraged at you.
I should have disengaged.
Moves to Axel.
I would move 30 feet forward. I would still be in between bear goblin thing and Demeclees. And I'm going to turn back to Demeclees. Don't worry, I got you.
So I will have the owl do the flapping wings, pecking at the eyes kind of thing that they do in order to aid Nictor.
Manx, make a perception check.
23.
You see the front of a crossbow emerge from the door in front of you that was blasted off of its hinges just in time for you to hear kind of like a noise, and then you see the trigger pull on the crossbow at the door. Demeclees, take 8 points of damage as the crossbow shoots across and catches you right in the thigh.
I would like to use a luck point, please. And I'm going to re-roll that attack. I'm assuming it's an attack, right? Here we go. Let's try this one. This one's been rolling crap. Fuck me. 19. Ah! All right.
7 damage, punching right into your thigh, so your movement is also going to be hampered.
Okay, so that's 2 luck points that have totally fucked me. All right. I'm still at full hit points. Well, I'm still at 1 minus.
Your move, Demeclees.
It's my move? So who fired at me?
You don't know. Manx is the only one that saw a crossbow withdraw.
But where did it come from? Like behind me or?
Based on the angle of the bolt, it came from the open door to your left.
Crossbow bolts. All of this is such a... you scratched me. Well, here's what I have to say to you. May you never see me again. I'm going to cast Fog Cloud, and it covers 40 feet inside everywhere. Everybody is covered in fog.
You know what? I'm going to give you a slightly extended range for this, so the entire room is now covered in fog. It fills the entire thing all the way up to the roof.
The door that I've been standing in front of that is open, that goes downstairs, am I correct in saying that the bolt did not come from there?
That's right. It came from another door, not from behind you.
I would like to walk down the stairs a little bit, just so that I'm out of the room and no longer where anybody would have seen me. And I will run 15 feet down the stairs to see how far it goes. And then, does it go further than 15 feet?
It looks like it's starting to open up into a stone chamber below.
Then I will look around the stone chamber and I'll take my movement down that way.
Yeah, you can get to the bottom of the stairs. From what you can see, it's opening up into prisoner cells.
Prisoner cells. Oof, perfect. Okay. Good luck, everybody. I've done my part.
Okay, so at the top of the round, we're moving back to Bear Gobbo. Disoriented entirely by the fog that has now encompassed him, he releases Niktor's shoulder and swings one blade too high and one blade too low, again trying to cut you in half. You manage to duck for the first one, but the second one connects with your leg for 11 points of damage.
Constitution save should be good. 18.
So you manage to shrug it off. Your movement will be impacted, though, from such a serious cut on your leg.
So I'm going to, knowing where the door in front of me was, where the bolt came out, can I walk up to there and, like, as I poke my head through the door, it's like kind of coming out of the fog cloud?
You can get to the door and poke your head around the corner.
What do I see?
Nothing. It's just a set of stairs going up.
Where did I see the crossbow come out of then?
That same door, but now you don't see anything in there, just the set of stairs going up.
Sneaky motherfucker. So I moved how far?
That's about 35 feet. You can just hear sounds of bear grunting, and you also hear Niktor shriek from the noise of getting hammered with a great sword.
I am running out of options. Okay, I'm going to ready an action. So I'm going to ready Vicious Mockery, trigger for which will be anybody coming around the staircase.
Yeah, I'm going two-handed in, 10 feet forward.
Axel, you run face first into the bear. You can see that Niktor right next to you is not, he's not doing great. There's certainly some blood bleeding freely from him, but you can also see that the bear seems to be moving slower, although there doesn't seem to be blood coming from it anywhere.
You only YOLO once.
Am I flanking this bear?
For the purpose of this first turn, let's say yes.
So one of them is a dirty 21. I'm going to roll my damage, so it's an 8 damage with the two-handed. So I'm just going to fly in from the rear, two-handed, just coming down hard on this guy's, like, calf or something.
You can feel it connect with the leg plates. You can feel it dent and break some of the leg armor. And the bear, enraged by this new attacker, turns to face you, so he is now facing you, Axel.
Okay, alright, well, I got my head in.
And that moves to Demeclees.
As I look down this long prisoner cell, is it go on forever, or is it like 5 prison cells? I can see all of them.
There's not that many, so you can see all of them from where you are. There's 2 on the left and 2 on the right-hand side.
Can I go look and see if anyone's in them?
There's one form leaning against the bars on the first prison cell on the right-hand side.
I'm going to approach, you may not know me, but I am Demeclees, the Future Whisperer, Seer of Fates, and Listener of Destiny, and Destiny has brought me here to you. And now it is a choice for you. Do you need my help, or are you going to stay here as an enemy?
She raises her head, and it is a tiny, pretty adorable-looking gnome.
What did you say your name was?
Oh, well, I quite didn't expect that. Of no matter. You can just call me Demeclees. You have a name?
Aye. Aye, the Hotspur's my name. You can call me Hotspur. Everyone calls me Hotspur.
Well, you're very cheerful for someone locked up in a prison. I'm going to free you if I can. Do you know where the keys are?
I've only been here a few days. I don't know where anything is. I'm just the last one in my cell.
Ah, okay. Well, this complicates things, but, leave this to me. I'll figure it out. And I'd like to just investigate the room for my action, and that'll be it, just to see if I can find something that could actually unlock the door or help me in this, because I'm definitely not strong enough.
The room is pretty much nondescript. You can continue to investigate. The doors are locked. There's straw. There's not even water down there. You also can hear Elrick kind of timidly coming down behind you, and he seems to be like quivering with fear.
Elrick, come down here. It's quite safe. I'll need your brawn.
Sure, Demeclees. It's whatever we can do to get away from the bear upstairs.
Don't be so afraid. It's not good for your heart. For my bird, Moonshadow, just whenever her action comes up next, they will change the aid or help to Axel, because my bird plays favorites. And clearly Axel was attacking with a big hammer and actually doing damage. So that'll be my turn then.
Back to the top of the turn, Axel has engaged the bear, who's turned to face him. Now enraged at this new threat, the bear swings his first sword, Axel easily ducking the blow. The second one, instead of kind of like a horizontal swing, what he's been doing before, he actually stabs straight down, punching a hole right through your boot and locking you in place into the ground floor for 9 points of damage. And then actually leans forward and with his teeth grabs the side of you, pulling it right out from your boot, so you lose your boot for 13 more points of damage.
Here, let me do that for you guys. Ah! There we go.
And then using his might, 21 points of damage. And then throws you about 10 feet backwards back into the mist.
Ooh, I have 1 HP. I'm at 1. Oh my god. And I can't second wind her. Oh my god, okay. I almost died, guys.
You are going to be unable to walk due to the fact that you just had a sword pulled through the front of your foot.
Jesus.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Oof.
Actually, I don't even know if it's possible for you to have a Constitution success on 21 points of damage total. Can you survive that? Well, let's find out.
I would have to roll a 20, and it would add my con mod to it. But I'm still inspired, damn it. So let's see. Oh my god. Okay, well, here we go. So it's a 10 plus a 4 is 14 plus 3 is 17. I do not save it.
All right, so you hit the ground and roll, and you are going to leave you as prone for the next turn, but you are still stuck in the mist. So you are entirely dazed, confused, and prone, and missing a boot, bleeding on the ground.
Great. Love that for me.
Manx, you hear a sound that sounds like Axel scream in pain, and then a huge crash.
You know what? I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to ready that vicious mockery spell on the door because I'm nervous about people sneaking in here. And yeah, that's it.
That moves us to Nictor. Let's make a charisma check to see if Axel being so violently destroyed when he entered. If you can beat a 10, you won't be frightened.
9 plus 2, 11.
Makes you real nervous, but you don't actually lose your nerve.
This is getting dicey.
I go, no, Axel! And I start engaging the bear even angrier.
You're technically flanking this time.
Nice. 21 total for the first hit. Not 20! And it's 25 again! Woo! Alright. Does this guy have a third kidney? I wish to pop it. Total of 8 points of damage.
He does look really staggered. You actually managed to knock him down to one knee before he staggers his way back up. So he is really badly damaged. Definitely beleaguered, so to speak. He's really hurt. It is your turn, Axel. You cannot stand due to your foot.
I would use the honey salve. Yeah, I'm chugging that thing like my life depends on it, because it does. I actually rolled a 6, thank God. So I'm at 7 HP, and half my movement speed is 15, so I'm going to stand up. And how far away from this bear am I?
About 10 feet away. You want to rush back in?
Yeah, with one exposed foot with a slice in it. With the two-hander still and no shield, I'm going to rush back in and go, I didn't hear no bell! Try to do like a top-down attack.
All right, give her an attack.
All right. Oh, God, please. Don't look stupid. Oh, God, it's a dirty 21.
That'll work. Roll for damage.
So it's 7 plus my strength mod, which is 3, so it's 10 damage.
You manage to hammer the head of the bear hard enough that you can feel it go limp and then slump forward. Nick, make a dexterity save.
Gonna roll on me or something?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to do because he's facing you.
Oh! That was so close to a 20 of 5 total.
So he actually slumps forward and lands on Nick. Doesn't do any damage, but he's just pinned with the giant bear lying on top of him.
Oh, Jesus.
That was so epic.
Alright, well then, since it's limp and there's no real other danger, I squirm my way out.
And we're going to move that down to Demeclees and Elrick in the prison below.
Now, Elric, do you have any way of... Could you maybe use your brawn to pry this open? Or at least get it loose?
Again, he's very shaken by the whole bear encounter as he's been too scared to move. And he takes his harpoon and wedges it in the bar doors. With a quick pry, breaks the rusty bolt and knocks it open.
Darn, I thought that would be harder. I had a plan. Anyway, very good, Elric. Bacon makes you strong, as they say. So, child, remind me, what's your name again?
I'm not a child. I'm Ida Hotspur. I'm one of the best fighters in the land. I just happen to be taken in by these miscreants.
Oh, sorry. You understand, with my age, everybody's a bit of a child. Especially to a gnome. Ha ha. You barely look a sprig above 58.
You're a strange little creature, Demeclees. Then I guess I'm also pretty little. So I guess we're 2 peas of a pod, so to speak.
Well, I don't know how many peas can fit in a pod, but I would say he would definitely crowd us out, and I'll make munching over at Elric. Elric, go up there and help them with the battle. Jeez. I'll figure things out. Thank you, though, for your brawn.
There's nothing down here, Demeclees, other than me. They've been taking prisoners out one at a time, and they never come back. So if I was you, let's get out of here as soon as we can.
Oh, we're looking for something. I don't know if you're aware, but it's a crown of sorts, very large, very bright. It can be seen across mountains and into the sea. It's almost like a lighthouse. You couldn't miss it if you saw it.
I know what you're talking about. There was a woman that came down here and pulled a prisoner out from the cells. Showed it to him and he recognized it immediately. It made of wood and precious gems, lit up the whole room.
Aye, exactly that. Whereabouts would that be? Once we find that, we'll be on our way, and you can come with us.
I don't know where it is, Demeclees. She came in, she picked a very specific prisoner who seemed to recognize it, and then just dragged him out with her big goblin bear hairy things.
Well, perhaps you can help us along the way here. Do you use, any of these kind of implements? And I'll hold out, my dagger, which is the only thing I have, or I'll point over at Elric, who I believe has a sword, right?
He's got a harpoon.
I am pretty good with some fine steel.
And she just snatches the dagger right out of your hand.
Excellent. Well, I have very little use for it.
Lead on, let's go find Hal.
Through the fog. I'll go up to the stairs, and as we get to the fog, I'll sort of listen.
It's eerily quiet now in the room, and there's still the fog everywhere. You don't hear anything.
Can I roll to look for my shoe?
You know where it is, Axel. It's still right in front of you. The sword is through the shoe and then into the cobblestones below.
Can I dislodge my boot?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'll rip it out and just kind of put my boot back on.
Yeah, the honey, when you consume the honey, it does stop the bleeding, but you're going to take half movement until you get that permanently fixed.
Okay, yeah, I'm at 7 health. I'm pretty dinged up.
If I can call out, I'd like to be like, Axel? Nictor? Manx?
Don't sound so excited, old friend.
Oh, God, thank God you're not all dead.
Not for lack of trying.
Well, I found us a companion, someone who's been locked up in the jail. No friend of the goblins, as you see. I'll dispel the fog cloud now that I know everyone is safe.
So the fog all disappears and you guys can now see each other. You can see the pretty serious wounds on Nictor and Axel. You can also see that Axel can barely move on his right leg. You can also see that the bear has collapsed.
I only count one body. What about the person firing crossbow bolts? Which one of you killed them?
I've been looking for them, but they haven't shown their face again. They fled upstairs.
I'm just gonna shrug, like, oh.
We best actually make a decision and go through one of these doorways this time.
I think we should head up.
Yeah, where this guy came from. I gesture towards the body.
Oh, and this is Ida Hotspur. I gave her a dagger, and she seems quite adept with it. But if any of you have another weapon, she might use. I trust her implicitly as another gnome.
Hey, anybody got some good fine steel here, or you guys all just carrying nothing?
She looks at Nictor, who's in, like, robes.
How would she fare with a greatsword?
That relative sword is actually easily 2 feet larger than her.
Why are you guys going further up? We gotta get out of here. What are you doing?
Yeah, we're here for the Driftwood Crown.
There's been a diversion created outside. We need to get the crown as fast as possible and then leave.
I don't give a damn about any driftwood crown. Get the fuck out of here. Where's the stables?
Well, my recommendation is if you're going to jet and fuck off, I'd like my dagger back.
She looks at you kind of like nervously about giving that away.
Okay, how about this? I'll go to the stables and get ready for the exit. Meet me here in half an hour. I'll count to 250. If you're here by then, we'll get out. And if you're not here by then, I'll get out.
I would like to insight check her.
Yeah, I immediately don't believe her.
250 is hardly 30 minutes, but yeah.
She's counting slowly, okay?
Okay, very slowly. Right.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I kind of want to insight whether she can actually count to anything.
What you get out of this, Demeclees, is that, number one, she probably doesn't seem educated enough to actually do a good job counting. You do get the sense that despite her being very blustery, she's definitely really scared. She's just masking it with the bluster.
Hotspur, you really know nothing about this place. You were captured and brought in here. You have no knowledge about a throne room.
I don't know nothing about a throne room, dwarf. All I know was I was in Suncrest, I was gambling away, winning the money, and then nothing. I just woke up in the back of a prisoner cart, and I was brought here with all these ugly gobos and thrown in the dungeon. There were maybe 30 prisoners in my prisoner cart, and one by one, the gobos came down, picked us up, and then we never came back, and I was the last one. I figured this guy,
she gestures to Demeclees,
when he was coming down, was here to take me away for me last breath.
All right, well, listen, if you have no information about a throne room, we can guarantee your safety, but if you go alone, there's an army out there, which you will likely die out there. Help us just maneuver the castle. The moment we have what we want, we all skedaddle. You can be back to gambling at the old hoo-ha wherever you came from.
I want to kneel down on one knee and be like, he's right, We're here on a very specific missive, and I know you're scared because I'm scared, because this giant purple thing almost killed half my friends. But there is a battle going on outside, and if you want to be protected, then you should stick with us for now.
Well, I guess Henry did keep me alive on more than one occasion. I do like Henry. It was only a couple of days ago that he told me that if they ever picked him to disappear, it was going to be the end of all of us. They picked him a few days ago, and I guess I'd rather it not be the end of all of us. Lead on, elfling, with the pointy ears. I guess we'll figure it out together. You're a strange lot, but I guess you're better than the alternative of death for now.
I'm putting a shoe on and my foot is like bleeding. Also, I'd like to chime in and not make the mistake I made earlier. Can anyone heal me? I'm doing pretty bad.
I'm going to give you my honey pot.
I'm going to basically rip that from you, like snatch it even from your hands and down it.
Elrick seems to have regained his senses now that the bear gobbo is dead. He went over and stood over it.
We always figured up was the way to the crown, and now the door to go up is open. Let's head up.
Before we do that, weird question. I'm just going to say it before you do. You got any bacon?
Such fascination with bacon. No, we don't have any bacon.
Damn it. I should have packed bacon.
And so ends episode 4, Attack on the Hollow. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to leave us a review. If you want to talk to the players directly, join our Discord. And until next time, remember, stubbing your little toe on your bedroom doorframe is the real life rolling a 1.